Hello, friends. Welcome to a little journey, a place where we can empty our minds, let go of our burdens, and rediscover the deep peace within. I'm Kan Lee, and tonight, I'm here to share a story with you, a story that's not just inspiring, but one that will gently guide you into a restful sleep with a calm heart. Hello, friends. Welcome to a little journey, a place where we can empty our minds, let go of our burdens, and rediscover the deep peace within. I'm your name, and tonight, I'm here to share a story with you, a story that's not just inspiring, but one that will gently guide you into a restful sleep with a calm heart. Picture yourself sitting by a quiet stream, the water trickling softly, the breeze whispering through the leaves. All the worries, all the noise of life, slowly fade away. All you need to do now is take a deep breath, and listen. This is the story of Elias, a man once trapped in his own mind, until he learned how to empty it, and transform his life forever. Elias was once a man of success. He lived in a bustling city, working in a gleaming glass tower as the marketing director of a prestigious company. At 32, he had everything people dream of, a luxurious apartment, a shiny car, and endless praise from his colleagues. But beneath it all, Elias was a mess. Every day, his mind was like a broken radio, constantly buzzing with noise. Emails to answer, campaigns to finish, meetings that stretched into the night. He couldn't turn it off. Even when he lay in bed, his thoughts raced. Have I done enough? What if I fail? Over time, Elias forgot who he was. He became a machine, running endlessly, until one day, that machine broke down. It was late one evening, sitting in his brightly lit office, when Elias felt his chest tighten. He couldn't breathe. The world blurred, and he collapsed onto the floor. It was his first real wake-up call. The doctor called it a panic attack, but Elias knew it was more, a warning from his own mind. After that night, Elias made a choice. He quit his job, sold his apartment, and left for a small village nestled among green hills. No one there knew who he was, and he liked it that way. He bought an old wooden house, where he could hear rain pattering on the roof and birds singing at dawn. But those first days weren't as peaceful as he'd hoped. Elias sat there, staring at the rain, and instead of relief, he felt emptiness. The old thoughts crept back. Did I make a mistake leaving everything behind? What am I going to do now? His mind refused to quiet down. It was like a storm, pulling him into endless spirals. Then one morning, as the first rays of sunlight slipped through his window, Elias decided to act. He grabbed a shovel and started digging in the backyard. He had no plan, just a need to keep his hands busy. The ground was hard and dry, but Elias kept going, one scoop at a time. Sweat dripped down his face, his breath synced with his heartbeat. And then, something miraculous happened. As his body tired, his mind grew still. For the first time in years, he felt silence. That afternoon, Elias met Clara, an elderly woman who lived nearby. Her hair was silver, her face etched with lines, but her eyes sparkled with life. She brought him a basket of apples, smiling as she said, "I saw you move in. Consider this a welcome from a neighbor." They sat together, sipping tea, and Elias opened up. He told her about his life trapped in his own head, about the panic attack that brought him here. Clara listened quietly, nodding now and then. When he finished, she said, "I was like you once. When my son passed away, I thought I couldn't go on. My mind was full of questions with no answers. But I learned something. To keep living, you have to empty your mind." "How?" Elias asked, his voice soft with curiosity. Clara smiled gently. "There's no quick fix, Elias. But you start by letting go of what you can't change, what doesn't belong to you anymore. Then find something to do, not to prove anything, but just to feel alive." Her words were like a cool breeze across his soul. From that day, Elias began to shift. Elias stopped sitting and watching the rain. He planted a small garden, watering it each morning, weeding it each afternoon. He walked through the village, listening to the rustle of leaves, the murmur of the stream. He didn't force himself to forget the past or fear the future. He just lived, one moment at a time. One day, sitting by the stream, Elias picked up a stone and tossed it into the water. Ripples spread out, then disappeared. He realized his mind was like that water. When he threw heavy thoughts into it, it rippled and churned. But when he let it be, undisturbed, it returned to stillness. Here's what I've learned from the story of Elias. These are the key takeaways that resonate deeply and might speak to you as well. 1. The mind needs rest. Elias was swept up in the whirlwind of work and pressure, pushing himself to the point of collapse. The story reminds us that if we don't give our minds a chance to breathe, they'll force us to stop, like Elias's panic attack. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for a healthy life. 2. Letting go is the first step to healing. Clara's advice, to let go of what can't be changed, was the key that unlocked peace for Elias. The lesson here is that sometimes, instead of trying to control or cling to everything, we need to release our grip to lighten our souls. 3. Simple actions can calm the mind. When Elias dug the earth or tended his garden, he didn't just keep his hands busy, he unknowingly soothed his mind. This teaches us that small, pressure-free tasks can be a powerful remedy to escape the chaos of overthinking. 4. Living in the present brings peace. Elias learned to stop dwelling on the past or fearing the future. He focused on each moment, watering plants, listening to the stream, and found himself again. The takeaway? Happiness isn't far off, it's in what we're experiencing right now. 5. The mind is like water, let it settle. The image of Elias tossing a stone into the stream and watching the ripples fade is a powerful symbol. It shows us that instead of trying to erase every thought, we can simply let them settle naturally. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's inner harmony. 6. Listening and connecting help us grow. Meeting Clara wasn't just a coincidence, it was a turning point for Elias. This reminds us that sometimes, a heartfelt conversation or a simple piece of advice from someone else can open new doors in our hearts. 7. Change doesn't need to be rushed, but it must begin. Elias's journey didn't happen overnight. He transformed little by little, leaving the city, starting a garden, learning to slow down. The lesson is that to empty your mind and reshape your life, you don't need to hurry, you just need to take the first step. Elias didn't know how long he'd stay in that village, or if he'd ever return to the city. But that didn't matter anymore. He'd found a way to empty his mind, not by erasing everything, but by letting it settle, like sand in a glass of murky water. When the water calms, it clears on its own. What about you? Tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine sitting by that stream, hearing the water, feeling the breeze. Let go of the thoughts weighing you down. They don't need to vanish right away, just let them settle. Take a deep breath, and let it out. Everything will be alright. Thank you for listening to Elias's story. If it touched you, leave a comment or a like to let me know. For now, relax, and drift into a peaceful sleep. Sweet dreams, friends.